Hello friends, today in this video I will show you how to use group by date in SQL Server. So now as part of this video tutorial we are going to discuss 6 simple methods to group by date. The first one is using convert function, then how we can use cast function to do that. Now the third method is how we can group by month, quarter and year. And fourth one is how we can use e-month function to do that. And the fifth approach will be how we can use date add and date difference function to do this. And the last and the final method will be how to use the format function to group by date. Okay. Now what I'll do, I'll just navigate to my SQL Server Management Studio where I will execute all the queries. Okay, and the queries I have already written in a notepad because if I'll start writing the query every query here, then it will take more time and the video will be very much lengthy. So for that reason, what I have done is I have already written those queries in a notepad. I will copy those queries from the notepad and I will make you understand and we will execute and see the output what you are getting out of the management studio past. Already opened my SQL Server Management Studio where I have this database that I have already created, right? Out of this database, I have a database called test where we are going to execute all these queries. Okay. Now I have already clicked on this new query window and this is an new window which is already open now. Here we are going to execute all these queries. So for that, let me just go to the notepad first to copy these queries. So the first approach is how we can use the cast function and the second will be how we can use the convert function, right? So the first query I will copy now. I will go here to the notepad, I'll paste it here. So what we are trying to tell here is this may be cell underscore amount. Okay. So now what we are trying to tell here is select cast function, then here cell date as a date as the cell day, and then sum is the cell amount, cell underscore amount as the total cells from the table cells, and then group by. Here is the important point, guys. Group by cast function. Then inside the bracket we are using cell date as the date column I have as the date data type, and then order by the cell day that we are keeping it here, right? So if I'll execute this query, you can able to see we got the expected output now. So this is the sale day and the total sales. Okay, this is grouped by our date, right? So this is the first approach, guys. This way you can use query like this using the cast function, and you can group by the date like this, right? So this is the first approach. Now the second approach is what I'll do. I will go to the notepad again and I will try copying from there. This is the query I have already written here. I'll paste it here. You can able to see this is again sale underscore amount. So if you see here, in the same way we are using convert function, then date. This is the syntax to use a convert function, right? Select, convert, then date data type, then the date column that you have as the sale day, and then the sum sale amount, sum function. We are making it total sales, right? From the sales table, and then again group by. This is the main thing that we are targeting here. Group by the convert function, then the date data type, then our date column, then order by this sale day, right? That we are keeping it here. Okay, if I'll execute now this query, you can get the better clarity with the output. So you can able to see we got the same output as expected, right? So this is the we are grouping it by date, right? The sale date is our date column. Okay, so this is the second approach, guys. So as I told you, if you want to use these queries and all, I have already written an article. That article link I am going to put it in the video description. You can go through that article once and copy these queries and modify the column name and all as per yours. Right? Now let's move to the third method. So that is grouping the date column by month, quarter, and year, right? So I will go to the notepad. First, we will try grouping the date column by month. Grouping by month, I will just copy this query and I will paste it here. Okay. So what we are trying to do here is, let me just zoom in little bit. So you can able to see we are trying to tell that select. We are using depart function, date part function. So we are what we are doing here, select, then date part. Okay, here we are passing this year and the date column, that is cell underscore date as year, and then date part function again here month, and then this is the date column as month, and then sum we are doing the cell amount as monthly cells from the table cells, and then group by, here is the important point guys that we are focusing here, group by date part, year, cell underscore date, and then depart month, cell underscore date, order by year and month, right? That we are trying to do here. So if I will execute this, you are able to see we got the expected output here. Right? Let's go to the next method where we are trying to group it by quarter. We can also use a date function again for the grouping of the month, right? So same whatever we have done here with this query. Alternatively, we can also use one more query using the date function to do that. Okay. So I need to just go here. I need to replace these things with my actual column name, right? So this is the query is ready now. So what we are doing here, select year, then cell date as year. Okay. Month function, we are using cell year function, month function. Here is the cell date as month, right? Then sum function, we are using this cell underscore amount, which is our amount column as monthly cells from the from the table cells, and then group by year, cell underscore date, and month, cell underscore date, year and month order by, right? So if I'll execute this again, we got the same output like the above, right? So this is the second way of grouping by month. Okay. Now if I will go to the notepad again, we will do a grouping by quarter. Okay. If I'll go here and copy this query guys, and I will go to the SQL Server Management Studio and I'll paste it here, and you can able to see here, select date part year, then date column as year, then date part quarter this time, uh, and this is the date column as quarter, then sum of the cell amount as quarterly sales from sales is the table name, then group by, here is the important point, and date part function, here we are passing year, then cell underscore date is our date column, then date part quarter, cell underscore date, and order by year and quarter. If I'll execute this, you can able to see we got the expected output now. This is the quarter, right? So this way you can group by quarter, right? Then let's move to the year one, grouping by year. I will copy this and I will copy and I will paste the query here. So here what we are trying to do here is select year function. Inside that we are passing the date function. I'm sorry, date column and then as year. And then sum is the cell amount, is the amount column, as I told you, as annual sales this time from sales table, right? Group by year, then we are passing the date column, right? Order by year. So if I will go here and execute this query, you can able to see we got the expected output and it is now grouped by the year, right? So this is the third method guys. Now let's move to the fourth one. which is nothing but how we can use e month, okay, to group by our date, right? So now let me just go to the notepad and copy the query. So this is the notepad. I will go here and copy this query, and I will go here and paste it, and I need to just replace this thing with the original column name. This is sales. This is sale underscore amount. I'm sorry. Right. So if you'll see here, this is the select keyword, and then e month is the function where we are passing this date column as month end date, and sum is the sale amount as monthly sales from sales, and then group by e month, eo month, which is important. You are passing the date, right? So then order by the month end date, that we are keeping it here. So if I'll execute this query, you can able to see we got the expected output here, right? Now what I'll do, I will go to the notepad again and we will discuss the next method, right? So let me go to the notepad and copy that query. That is the next method where we are using the date add and date difference function. I'll copy this query, guys, and I will go to the SQL Server Management Studio and paste it. Here you can able to see. I will just make it ready. 1 second. So this is sale underscore amount, and this is sale underscore date, right? This is sale underscore date. So here what you are doing, select date add function, then within that the parameter is date. Then we are using date difference function where parameter is day, and then 0, then this is the sale date, and this is complete divided by 7 into 7. Then again we are passing the 0 as week start date, and sum is the sale amount as weekly sales. From sales is the table name group by. Here is the important point, guys. Date add, date we are passing, then within that date difference function day 0, and sale underscore date is our date column, and divided by 7 to 7 0, right? Order by this week start date. If I'll execute this, we will see that we got the expected output. You can see it here, right? So this is how you can use the date add and date difference function as well. Now going to the next method, right? How we can use the format function to do that, right? Let me go and copy the query from the notepad. I'll just select the complete query and I'll go here and paste it. So you can able to see select format, then format function, then within that we are using our date column, and this is the format of the date, right, as a month group, and then sum is the sale amount again as monthly sales from sales. Sales is the table name, then group by this format function where we are passing the date column and the format of the date, order by mean function with the cell date as the parameter, right? If I'll execute this, you can able to see we got the expected output where we are, it is displaying on the same format how we have mentioned here, right? Year YYYY, then MM, and then the month name, that is January, March, May, and June, right? So this way you can group by your date column, right? These all the method you can utilize for that purpose. So that's it for today, guys. I thought to quickly show you how to, group by date in SQL Server, and we have discussed here six simple methods to do that. Okay, and as I told you, I have already written an article on the same topic. That article link I am going to put it in the video description. You can just click on that link and copy these commands if you want, or the queries if you want, right? Thanks again for watching this video, guys. If you found this video little helpful for you, kindly subscribe to our channel to support us so that you will get lots of free SQL Server tips, different helpful as your tips and many more. Thanks a lot again, guys, and have a nice day. Bye bye.